Here. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday, hump day. Mike. Guess what day it is, Mike? Tuesday slate wrapping up. West Coast is the best coast for offense. That's a lie, because Wrigley went crazy with the Dodgers and the Cubs, man. Woo. Hopefully you guys did all right. Right now, Milwaukee, 11 runs in the 6th inning out there in the pitcher's park. Off of a Yelich grand slam and a Jake Bauers bomb. Rangers have 8 runs. But unfortunately for me, who needed some Corey Seager action, Seager just left the game with an injury, which is so unfortunate for me because he had a hit and 2 runs, and I had his fantasy point prop on Underdog. Looking like it's not gonna hit. What can you do? What can you do? Otherwise, I just got that Corbin Carroll over. It'd be like that. And I was waiting on Trout to do something as well. Oh, that would sting so bad if this ends up. Well, no, Lau. I think Lau is screwed. Oh, well. What are you gonna do? What's up, Maine? What's up, RC? What up, Scott? Or the crazy? Yeah, that's not cool. Especially Corey Seager. He's really fun when he's healthy. Hopefully it's nothing. I was watching the D-backs broadcast for a bit, and they were talking about, one of their pitchers was talking about how he deals with cramps, and it's just like it just will not stop. It's just always going to be there. Any other surprises from yesterday? We got a Ben Rice bomb. Pitching was, I think a lot of us were on Chris Bubich. I mean, almost the bottom of the barrel type game that I would expect from him without imploding. Ended up being fine. He had 7 innings, 6 Ks, just 6 Ks, you know. But you'll take that 7 strong all day. But he didn't get the win because that went to extras. My boy Chris Bassett got into some unluckiness defense, and then it just kind of unraveled. He ended up with 4 earnings, went 5 innings, strikeouts diminished. Not too shocking. Pivetta, 30 fantasy points. He was obviously top tier play. And Jack Flaherty, 25 with 9 Ks and 6 innings. So I think the 3 main pitchers I was on tonight, I had a share of a Bassett, but I knew that matchup was going to be a little bit rough. But yeah, Dodgers and Cubs, juggernauts. Yeah, Wood was going crazy. What up, Rob? Woo-hoo. All right. So tomorrow we've got 15 games. And we're going to do our night before due diligence because there's a slew of games starting about noon, 1 p.m. Eastern. Then there's a good break for the night slate. But I try to make sure that there's content up whenever there's a decent early slate. It's only 4 games, so one of these days we might skip it and do another day stream because I really do like the day streams. Now that I think about it. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. No, I ran an 8-legger for giggles. And that pretty much cements that Brandon Lau won't have another at bat. But yeah, Corbin Carroll. think I've said it before, is one of my favorite fantasy props every day. He's just so good. So good. Ben Rice added to the mix. You get Ben Rice, especially away. Oh, all day. Taking it. All right, let's get into some games. You guys new to the channel. Maybe you were searching prop picks or DFS picks or whatever. My name's Gun. On this stream, we research all the games for multiple purposes. Daily fantasy, Fanduel, DraftKings. We also run some props. If you guys stick around, you'll see that we do a lot of our research hand in hand with this spreadsheet, the MLB Grind VIP spreadsheet, which is something I've developed over the past decade to be my research aid and now projection runner for baseball. Now, realize there's so much volatility in baseball. It is what it is. But I gotta say, pretty doggone handy tool, man. Some of you guys use the stuff that I don't even use as much. My boy Ron would be like, yo, give me that pitch report now. Pitch report. Okay, I won't give, like, Chris Sanchez got injured yesterday, but the pitch report kind of put us off Sanchez anyway because of the Mets changeup history. And then Sanchez, I think he had like 50 pitches through 2. I was like, all right, avoided that. And then he got yanked. So he wasn't looking great, but unfortunately he also looks like he might be injured. So I don't want a victory lap potential injury. Is this game not on there early? What's going on here? Cardinals. All right, so this game is not on either of the early slates for DK or Fanduel, it looks like. But it's going to be 12:15 Eastern start, which is, god dang, 11 my time. Miles Michael is taking on Bryce Elder. Cardinals currently have a 3.8 run total. Braves at a 4.9. Both pitchers don't really impress me much, and Cardinals are coming off a pretty good day at the plate. So might be a little disrespected on their run total. Bryce Elder so far almost a 5 expected ERA, $1.50 on the whip, and that's something that we've seen going back to last year. So unless I'm missing the memo on who's actually starting, it is Bryce Elder. I don't understand this run total here. Bryce Elder 18. Should be. Well, I guess I would say first and foremost, I might be interested in the Cardinals over. A lot of the action yesterday for the Cardinals came off the bat. A Lars Nootbaar, high walk rate, low K rate, and a decent bit of power. Top of that lineup. Elder has struggled since the beginning of last year against lefties. Not giving up a high average so far this season, but it seems like a little bit more luck than anything else. If you look back to last year, over 300 average to lefties, and so far, including this year, an elevated home run rate to lefties. He does keep the ball on the ground quite a bit and has also gained about 8-9% ground ball rate to lefties, and we talked about it yesterday. Sometimes those high ground ball rates can be stat killers, but he's also given up a high average. High ground ball rate doesn't necessarily mean greatness. It does usually mean more hits, and that's kind of what we got here. What? Who are you barking at? Brett? All right, I've never heard her bark before. That was like, well, I heard her in the backyard one time, but let me see. Are you barking at the cat? Well, I know. Anyway, sorry. It was new. So in this game, I'd just be on the offenses here. Neither one of these pitchers are on the DFS slate, so I'm not too worried about breaking them down. But Michaelis, we know he's a pure contact guy, kind of the both Both defenses are going to be put to work here. Braves have the higher implied run total. That's kind of what happened yesterday. With Michaelis, if you're going to dare Austin Riley right now to hit the ball, his bugaboo is his 28% K rate. But past that, if he's making contact, he has one of the highest barrel rates in all of baseball. So that could be huge for him, as Michaelis less than a 15% K rate since the beginning of last year against righties, and that's a dangerous bat. Kind of the same with Ozuna, but Riley for sure. So those couple of names that stand out to me, and then Elder will go right back to Newbar, maybe some Gorman. But I think if you're prop betting this game, you're likely not attaching yourself to pitchers here. Yeah, I'm in agreement. I don't think I need to put these pitchers in the projection sheet. So we'll skip that part of this process and we'll go into the early slate of games. So it looks like a 4-game early on DraftKings. Doggy. Got the Reds and the Marlins again. So I have the new dog, Foster. And I have a cat that I adopted like 2 years ago. And every, twice a year I bring these random animals home and the cat's mad. Well, this one I got a good feeling about as far as them getting along. And they've been kind of warming up to each other lately, so I'm hoping to see the magic moment where I just catch them taking a nap together. But I guess that's what she just barked at. I don't know. But the cat's going right back at it, so I don't know. Day game out in Miami. I'll double check the roof. They had been having the roof open. I guess the roof information wouldn't be available right now. But I don't know if they leave the roof open in the daytime out there. Sandy Alcantara pitching today. He's coming off a pretty bad start for his sake. But I'm not ready to give up on him just yet, because we did see a little bit of good before the bad. Yeah. We look at his plate discipline. Actually, we'll look at his batted ball. Yeah. Before that implosion against Philly, and really against Washington, he had a pristine game against the Mets and the Pirates in terms of xFIP. The ground balls were there. He didn't have the ground balls against Philly and against Washington, 55%. So we'll kind of like live with that. Washington, we know, is a contact team, and Philly is a problem if you're not missing bats, and he was not missing bats. So looking at the play discipline in those games, 8.35% swing and strike rate. So I certainly would like to see that higher, and I would also love to see this first pitch strike percentage higher. So I guess there's enough to plant a seed of doubt in Sandy after a year off from injury. We know that the ultimate form of Sandy is more of a contact guy than anything. Little Framber Valdez-esque, where he's going to ground ball his way through, maybe get just under a strikeout per inning, but most importantly, get you 7-8 innings. But I do think there's some leaks in his game right now. But the 4-game slate, do people look past that? Because we've seen some pitchers do well against the Reds, to say the least. Let's see, his sinker's at 96.7 miles an hour. About a mile slower than his 2023 campaign. His fastball, though, 97. It's still slower than his 23, but we'll still take that. Let's see if we can find our expected slugs. The slider, I expected slug, but we can live with these numbers. 327 expected slug on a sinker, 386 on a changeup, 436 on a four-seamer. But really, I think we just need to find some more swing and miss stuff, just a little bit, and get the ball back on the ground. So, what else is on this slate? First pitching, we got Wheeler, Singer, Peterson. There's definitely a lot of upside and volatile pitchers on this slate. And at 7,300, you already get a pretty good deal. I'm in a blender. I don't know if he's gonna be at the top, but certainly we'll put him in the blender. 3.9 run total for the Reds, 4.3 on the Marlins. Brady Singer, same game, 26% K rate. High ground ball rate to righties. So far, his ground ball rate to lefties has been an opportunity for improvement. And this is a Marlins lineup that will come up pretty lefty, at least nothing else balanced, but pretty lefty heavy. And his leaks to lefties since the beginning of last year, pretty evident as well. Does allow some homers. So I do think, you're probably not going to get a perfect game out of either guy, but I do think both guys are in play. I think I'm going to start with Singer just for the strikeout upside, because I still think that even when Sandy was at his best, he's not getting a ton of strikeouts. But against some teams, he can shove a strikeout plus per inning. So I'm there on him. Then I'll go Reds, Substack, and then probably Marlins. I say Marlins, Substack, but I feel like you could throw them all in a blender. If they pop the lid open there too, I'd be all about it. So little four corners. Let's go through a projection here. Singer, we're gonna give him I'll go 24% on the K rate. Walk rate for him, I'll go 9%. We're gonna take away all these quality starts. For Sandy, I'm gonna give him an 18. But it wouldn't shock me if he ends up being like a 22 down, with sample size. And then walk rate, man, it's a problem. Gotta throw strikes, right? So until he can, I'm gonna give him that 10. I'm gonna give him that 10. And then do we even have sportsbook lines for outs yet for this one? He does throw slider, but so far it looks like his worst pitch. Sinker's his number one. Sandy, they got him 16.5. I think I'll put Brady at the same line for now. But Brady is coming off 88, 95, 91 pitches, 5.55. So yeah, struggling to get through 6, but I'm gonna get his strength of schedule real quick. Seattle, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Texas. So not elite, but not terrible, right? But 3 of those games were in Great American, and the other game was at Miller. So yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Yeah, that new catcher came through as a good value play yesterday too. I guess I would mention that again. He's not in this projected lineup. I don't know if that's because a night day game, or maybe that'll change. But as we saw yesterday, if this guy Agustin Ramirez, if he's in the lineup, he's still min price, and he shouldn't be. It's back-to-back 17 bombs and a stolen base to boot on opening day. Hit 2 doubles yesterday. Not opening day, his first his opening day for the season. If he's in the lineup at 2K, he's such a great value because of his hit tool, his ability to hit for power. And we saw him in the cleanup spot yesterday, and he delivered. So the only real reason I see him to lose that spot is if Sandy has a caddy, or if they go night day game, switch, and then decide he should get some rest. Marley, yeah. Or maybe Sandy needs a new caddy because it's kind of rough. I don't know. All right, we're good there. Let's move on to the next game. Yo, all these games are at the exact same time, y'all. 110. If you want a quick sweat, 4 games at the same time. That sounds fun. You put the 4-boxer on, jump on the treadmill. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And just let her rip. Yankees and the Guardians. It was a little rough yesterday. I was all about some first inning action. Will Warren can't keep getting away with this. I hate that. Like, if the Yankees are gonna lose, please like lose in a fashion that helps me when I'm stacking lefties against Will Warren. Instead, they just don't, and then they lose anyway. That was a little frustrating. Today, Guardians get a lefty, little Jekyll and Hyde. I think Carlos Rodon probably feels like the tournament play of the slate one way or the other, right? Seems like he's either 10 strikeouts or 10 earned runs. Yankees have a 4.7 run total. Guardians 4. Pretty healthy favorite is Carlos Rodon. Coming off a shove game for his sake. 9 Ks, 8 Ks, 8 Ks. What you're trying to stay away from with Rodon is the walks. 3, 3, 4, 4. That's been a problem. And then with the walks, to get out of a sticky situation because you're letting him on for free. But you got to give him credit. 3 of his last 4 starts have been 6 innings strong. But man, that 4.34, man, at 3 is expected ERA is actually only 3.27. That's actually kind of impressive. 16% walk rate to righties so far, 7% to lefties. We're digging a little deeper here. I want the good version of Carlos Rodon. I do. What's up, Ayo? Daisy girl. Daisy and the cat are playing peekaboo at the door. It's cute. 10% swinging strike rate on the season. Close to a 60% first pitch strike. We'll freaking take that for Rodon. XFIPs are somehow pristine with so much traffic. I guess it's more so walk traffic than anything. 100% LOB, 62, 17, yeah. 190 bad, but it just feels like the bad game's coming. But you gotta be somewhat interested. But I don't know that he's number 1 on my interest list here. And by the way, these lefty splits for the Guardians are kind of stupid. Got a couple of 1. OPSs now. And a lot of positive WRC pluses. So I'm going to be a little anti-score or anti-run total here. So we'll go Yankees 1. Kind of going Guardians 2, but Rodon's not eliminated. Ortiz is 1 K rate on the season, 12% swing and strike rate. A lot of problems with lefties for Ortiz, so it's another great spot for Ben Rice, who his baseball savant page is just insane. And now you give him the the Aaron Judge protection, it's even crazier. So it might be another day for Ben Rice to jump on early. We'll go Yankees, Guardians, Rodon. It is a scumdacker spot. Although I don't know if I'm going Ortiz, but I definitely would have both sides of Rodon versus Guardians, especially with this projected lineup. I'm just gonna let them do it. Gonna learn today. She got them claws. You gonna learn. I think she's just wanting to play. Move on to the Padres game. So that is the second time I've heard her ever bark. First time I've actually seen her do it. It's probably a good sign. Coming out of her shell a little bit. Her and the cat having a little tense stare down. Hearing the hiss. Daisy, you get clawed in the face. Gonna be your teaching moment. Tigers and the Padres again. Reese Olson taking on Kyle Hart. Padres have a run total of 3.9 right now. Tigers 4.8. Wow. Wow. That's pretty stark. And to see the Padres as a 1-point dog to the Detroit Tigers, that's kind of letting you know Kyle Hart ain't it, and the Tigers positive split is against Southpaws. So far, Hart 300 plus average to righties, 292 home run per 9. Is Hart the one I always look up and he was like in the KBO? Let me see. And then it's like when you deal with KBO pitchers, yeah, they look good over there. Yeah, that's him. He had a 2 walk per 9, but like he also had a 30% K rate. But K rates in the KBO just don't transfer to the major league level. But when you go back to his minor league stuff, yeah, it wasn't great. High walk per 9 especially. And that even carried over to the KBO a little bit. So I'm with it. I'm with the Tigers. Torkelson, highest OPS. Justin Henry, Malloy, Glaber, Andy Ibanez, sneaky pop, 272 average against lefties since the beginning of last year. A couple of I can't believe I'm typing Tigers. I mean, are Tigers about to be trendy? That's actually kind of crazy. Inversely, Reese Olson a 1.5 whip, 4.25 on the expected ERA. I think we'll get the Padres on a 4-game slate no matter what. So we put a little talent in there. Don't know how often I land on Reese Olson as a play here. This is not a high K team anyway. They do get a little bit funky now with a couple injuries and a couple of who's who of who's that in the bottom half of this lineup. Cornelius, Gonzalez, Iglesias, Tyler Wade, Martin Maldonado. I mean, it falls off a cliff. So the heavy lifting is 1 through 4. I guess I wouldn't be stunned if Olsen turned in a usable stat line in an SP2 spot. Probably not gonna force it too much. Dogs barking means it's Guardian stack time. Dude, I wonder, on yesterday's stream, my cat jumped on my chair. And afterward, I was like, I wonder what she jumped on my chair, what I was talking about. And I might have to go back, double check. But yeah, there used to be some, could be good luck for whatever. Let's go run some projections on all these games, actually. Rodon, give him that, I'm gonna give him a 28. Still feels a little beefy, but I might be a hater. We'll give Ortiz a 22. A little tax for last year. Walk rate for Rodon. I'm gonna go smooth 11. Ortiz, we're gonna go 10, even 10. Rodon 17.5, and then 15.5. Then for Kyle Hart, guess I gotta give him what we got. 15% K rate, 4% walk rate. Olsen 20% K rate. Go 9%. 15, 20, 4, 9. We got outs on them. We do not. I'm just gonna give them both 15 off the top. Pull up the yeah, Padres bullpen can hold it down. It is the Tigers. Yesterday Pivetta went 7, so they only had to go to Jason Adam and Robert Suarez, so they should be a fully rested, everyone's available bullpen. Would give us yeah, that was your it might actually take those guys out. Short turnaround, and that's 2 days in a row for your closer and your setup man, or one of your setup men. But it'll give us Estrada, Wandy Peralta maybe, and then Gillespie pitched 46 pitches yesterday, not this game. So you might get like Wandy, who's fine, but you might get another left. Actually, you're almost guaranteed to get another lefty if you're banking on the Tigers against lefties here. They got 3 lefties that didn't pitch yesterday, and Morejon, he'd probably be the first man up. And looking at his righty splits in this chart, 388 xFIP to righties, but good strikeout stuff, good home run per 9. So either way, though, if you're banking on him against a lefty, there's a good chance you're going to get another lefty, if not 2. Yeah, Torkelson owes me from the other day. Yo, bomb. Dang, dude, Mike Trout did me like that. He did me like that. What are you gonna do? Couple players, when I put money on them lately, it feels like they just don't. Mike Trout, Tyler Soderstrom, Brandon Lau. These guys hate me. They can just sense it. All right, last game on this early slate. Phillies. This looks like one of the spots for best pitchers, not great matchups. Little fact I picked up while watching the D-backs and Rays game is the Rays went crazy schedule-wise with the April games at home. They're coming off one of the biggest home stretches to open a season because of the summer temperatures in Tampa being unprotected out there. So it means when we do get those games out there in the summer, it won't be many, or as many. But when we do, oh man. David Peterson throwing baseballs against Zach Wheeler. Phillies have a 3.9 run total. The Mets 3.7. Wheeler's good. Over 30% K rate, sub 1 whip in 2 years running. Expected ERA is pristine. His problem today is going to be the fact that the Mets on paper are good. Maybe project a little bit better against lefties, but still, it's kind of split. It's actually kind of leaning towards righties, actually. High WRC pluses for Lindor, Soto, Alonso. Winker even sneaks into the 120. So it's not a give me matchup, but on a 4-game slate, Zach Wheeler's easily the most talented pitcher in this pool. So you take a stab at him, but he's 11K. And normally 11K for a tough matchup would kind of pull me off and go elsewhere. But what does that mean for DFS? Well, it doesn't mean that he's got to drop 3x or whatever your unit of measurement is. You certainly would want 20 plus without a doubt. But in this case, I think he just has to be a top 2, arguably top 3 scorer at his ownership. And then don't overthink it, you know? So I think he's fine to play. So I'm going to play him. David Peterson, 25% K rate so far to righties, but all the other metrics look a little rough. High line drive rate, high walk rate, high home run per 9, high average. But he does shut down lefties at a pretty great clip, an extremely high ground ball rate, high strikeout rate to lefties. And that's your Bryce Harper, your Kyle Schwarber warning, but those might be the only lefties in the Phillies lineup today. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. Overall, though, good ground ball rate to both sides of the plate. Just kind of struggling in this middle couple columns against righties. xFIP against righties 327 though, so maybe some encouragement to go play him. I am gonna put him and Wheeler in my top 2. Both teams have a sub 4 implied run total, so getting a little bit of credibility from Vegas. And then I think because it is a 4-game slate, you're gonna be interested in both. I go Phillies before I go Mets, but I still think Mets are interesting because if Wheeler ends up, even if Wheeler's not the highest owned pitcher, Mets are probably the lowest owned stack because it's Zach Wheeler. So it's a 4-corner spot, but it's a strategic 4 corners. It's not like I'm looking at the Mets thinking they should blow up Wheeler. Wheeler's pretty good. Just ownership and leverage opportunity. Wheeler, we're gonna give him that. We'll give him a smooth 30% K rate. For Peterson, we'll give him a 25. Walk rate on Wheeler, we'll give him 5. Peterson, we'll give him the 8. I'm sure Wheeler's at 17.5. He's at 18.5. A lot of juice on the under though, so we'll give him 18 flat. Then we'll go 17.5 on Peterson. And that'll give us a first look at pitcher projections for the early. Let's get that loaded. And then we take out Michaelis. Who's the other one we're taking out? Michaelis and Elder. No surprise though, gives us Wheeler, Rodon, Peterson, Singer, Alcantara. Not a big gap in points though. I guess I do need to feed some quality start points to Wheeler. I'm gonna give him 2. Anybody else that deserves some? Rodon, I'll probably give him 1.5. Honestly, he's been getting through, so I'll give him 2 as well. So it's gonna keep those guys up. Then we resort that. Let's go early stack rating. We'll take out St. Louis. Atlanta. My brain ain't braining. That gives us Yankees, Guardians, Phillies, Miami, Mets. I would probably look at tomorrow and see if Miami does have the roof open. Feels like in a day game they wouldn't. But they have. What's up, Heath? Appreciate that. Yeah, no problem. Typically, if there's an early slate, I'll try and do a night before stream. We had over 70 concurrent viewers on the day stream today, which I like humbly don't expect. I don't expect over 30, 40, but lately there's been a lot of people hanging out. And man, even in my prime, I wasn't pulling 70 for baseball in the daytime. So gives me a little bit of I don't want to say encouragement, because I don't want to go to the daytime and step on toes, but it's so much better to process the market, the available information, the weather. A lot of lineups come out by the end of that stream, so it's kind of like there's benefits of the night before because you can grab some lines before they move, but man, the day of is definitely kind of winning the tail of the tape for me lately. But right now I've just been kind of splitting it because a lot of viewers are also kind of split on how they prefer it. A lot of people can't hang out at 1 p.m. like to listen in the morning. So what I've done is I've kind of found a happy medium where 4 times a week we're getting a lot of early games. So I'll pump out the night stream. And then seems like Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays we can probably expect a day stream. So pretty fluid. I know most people like a more concrete number, but so far people have been hanging out. Maybe they'll get tired of the variance after long. Or maybe there's just not enough baseball coverage out there to kick me away. But it definitely isn't lost on me that there's a lot of baseball content out there live when I was live earlier. And I had 70 homies chilling. .8 run total for the Mariners. So this is 645. So is there like 2 random games on DraftKings? So yes. That's kind of weird. The main slate starts at 7 on DraftKings. Am I reading that right? Fanduel's main slate starts at 6:45. Kind of a late start for the first game of the nights anyway. Also, is this start time right on DraftKings for the Cubs? 6. Yeah, I guess it's Eastern, so Central. All right, so it looks like there's a little bit of difference. Fanduel has opted to keep these 2 random games, and then DraftKings will do a 8-game main slate at 7. But they do have a 2-game turbo. Dude, 15 minutes, really? If you're 15 minutes, you're you know, over 15 minutes, you leave 2 games off. Seems a little shallow and pedantic. You like the early stream between you and Terry, get baseball afternoon? Yeah, dude, I hit up Terry. I told him one of these Mondays and Tuesdays we'll collab, but I get it, man. That dude's doing everything. Hockey, basketball, baseball. So I told him, it's like, whenever you slow down, I'm pretty well just only baseball. I don't think you're not really gonna get a lot of conflicting opinions with me and Terry, but I do think we're a good supplement to each other. Because like I said the other day, he'll go through every batter. I kind of just focus on pitchers, and then you kind of know who you're gonna target offensively by which pitchers you're not, and vice versa. But he'll go through and run down them hitters for you. So a little bit of both. Give you a full plate. Okay, so all right, let's just do this. These two games aren't on the DraftKings main slate, but they are on the Fanduel main slate. Sure. Emerson Hancock taking on Sean Newcomb. I mean, maybe that's a good thing for DraftKings. So DraftKings doesn't get the Fenway or the Orioles trap. You already know Orioles are dropping 20, dog. There's just no way they don't against when they're not on the main slate after yesterday's debacle. There's just no way they don't. All right, both pitchers in this Fenway game, though, not really people I want to get to. A sub 15% K rate for Emerson since the beginning of last year. Extremely high whip, extremely high average allowed to both sides of the plate. Just not missing bats, and the barrel rate's almost at 14%. Inversely, Sean Newcomb, 23.5% K rate this season, but likely to drop if we expect it to mimic his numbers from last year. A 7.6% swinging strike rate last year, attached to a 15% K rate. And the called strike's not going up a ton. It went up 3%, but in 17 innings, you know, all these numbers are pretty volatile, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But what we do know is Newcomb is just not missing bats, and you're putting that against the Mariners and Fenway, and the Mariners' biggest problem in life is missing the baseball, so might be able to neutralize that a bit. And this looks like it could be a shootout in Fenway. I like just about everything here. I think this is gonna blow up the bomb detector. I'm gonna go Mariners. Red Sox do have a higher run total. It's really a coin flip. It's not really. We're not touching either pitcher with a 10-foot pole. 15. Walk rates. I'm going 14. I'm just giving them bottom of the line stuff, and we'll fix that tomorrow. But yeah, this is a game I would like to stack for. I guess if we can't stack it for DFS, unless you're, dude, that 2-game slate could be crazy. You can attach it to props. It is on the Fanduel slate. I think that's going to just be a juicy game for offense. I mean, these numbers are pretty nutty. Red Sox are all happy because we got the most wins in the American League now. All right, shut up. We're tied with the Yankees. I don't know. I saw that tweet all over tonight. Red Sox are tied for most wins in the AL. Tied with the Tigers, bro. Calm it down. Actually, am I sleeping on the Tigers, dude? Other Tigers got 14 wins. I guess they're only 4 games above 500. I guess there's a lot of parity in the AL. 4 games above 500 is just elite. The AL sucks. It's bad. Dean was right again. What did Dean say? I don't get to catch Archie a lot. I know one of these days I need to go sneak by and chill out. My name though on YouTube, I'll type it in chat. I'll type a year. That is the most self-promo name. I wish I could change the display in chat. Like when I go say hi to Terry, kind of looks kind of dorky. So I don't want to, like when I watch Stochastic or whatever, I don't want to type anything in chat because it just looks like self-promo. So maybe I'll jump on an alt. Same name, I don't know. Let's go Nationals and the Orioles. Part of this purgatory stretch on DraftKings. Tomoyuki. Sagano. Twirling them for the Orioles. Man, Orioles are just... Anytime I'm on the Orioles, stack the other team. Like, it seems so consistent right now. Certainly on paper, young team, really good, right? Like, there's talent in there. But man, the results for me when they should go crazy kind of stink. But that's baseball, Susan. You gotta play the numbers. 5.2 run total for the Orioles today. 4.6 for the Nets. Put that in the wrong box. Trevor Williams, kind of a contact guy, 18% K rate, 1.63 on the whip, finding himself in trouble with lefties. 450 plus average so far against lefties. Last year wasn't as much of a problem, but he did have an elevated xFIP, and then you look at the season prior, back into trouble land against lefties. So this is an Orioles lineup, gonna pipe out a bunch of lefties or switchies batting lefties. So I'm back in the New York groove with Orioles interest. And then inversely, Sagano has not been that great. 9% K rate so far, $1.25 plus on the whip, 12% barrel rate. Another good spot to dip into, if nothing else, a Nats substack. But man, it really feels like every offense on that 2-game DraftKings slate has a shot at 10 runs if things go sour. James Wood looks the most appealing here. He's just been so good. Much like Austin Riley, if you can get around his 30% K rate, and neutralize it in a plus matchup like this one, it's a problem. So that leadoff spot's a really good spot. And then Nate Lowe got himself a homer to back up Wood after getting on. So a little bit of offense flourishing from the Nats right now. Let's go put a pitcher projection for these guys. I guess they're gonna be on the Fanduel slate. Jesus, we'll go 12% for Sagano. Honestly, I just gotta give him 10. He's gotta earn it. Trevor Williams, we're gonna give him 18%. Walk rates here. Let's go 6. 6 and 7. We have outs for this game yet? Oh, we did have outs for... I was actually not too far. I gave 14.5 for Hancock and 14.5 for Newcomb, and Newcomb's at 13.5. Both guys at 15.5 right now. A little juice on the under, so I'll just put 15 flat. And then we said Newcomb was at 13.5, so we'll do that. It's like I know. Two-game DK slate might be the rare slate where bullpen pitcher is viable. Dude, that slate's looking crazy offensive. Be good when the weather warms up, but they aren't lefty masters of the past 2 years. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what makes them not, you know? Like, if you throw out Tyler O'Neill and Ryan Mountcastle and blah blah blah, like, I don't know. I don't know. But they have looked better against righties this season, and they get one today. So all offense is completely in play. That 2-game DraftKings slate, you might have to play a bullpen guy just to not have like a negative. It feels like it's very viable, very possible here. What you doing, Daisy? All right, we'll keep it moving here. 7 p.m. game for the Cubbies. I don't know if you guys saw any bits and pieces of this game last night. I like to think of myself pretty impartial. For teams that are not in the American League East or not the Astros. I don't even hate the Dodgers. They worked us. But if you're a Cubs fan, I mean, yeah, you got that World Series a couple years back, but you're still, you're you're not accustomed. You're accustomed to like guys leaving. Been a while since you went out and got a free agent that shook things up a little bit, like a big free agent, I guess. But for them to go land, even though it was a short deal, but they might extend it with Kyle Tucker, and then have an offense that's been so good, and now we're getting to the point where some stuff just matters. We can wash some stuff out on a short sample. But I guess what I'm getting at is good for the Cubs fans. I mean, look at this place. The Wrigley is absolutely packed. And yeah, it's probably a little Dodger influence. They had a lot of Dodger fans there. But if you told me this was from October, I would believe it, bro. Like these people are hyped. So I'm gonna say that fan base deserves this team. So shout out to the Cubs fans. And if you happen to eliminate the Dodgers in the playoffs, I'm with it. Noah Davis pitched tonight. I guess he was slated to start. Then I have no idea who's starting. By the way, this game did go deep. Went 10 innings. Noah Davis was Davis the guy that just Davis threw one pitch, so he might. Was that the pitch that I just played? Had to be, yeah. So for now, I'm gonna keep Davis, but this seems like it could be anybody. Man, the Dodgers went through a lot of pitchers yesterday. May, Banda, Garcia, Vesia, Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott, and Noah Davis. Was this just a scheduled bullpen game? Yeah, Noah Davis. There's a lot of fun things on Twitter when you type Noah Davis. Yeah, probably have to call somebody up, yeah. All right, so we'll put that in here. Dodgers emptied the bullpen last night. Not sure who is starting yet. Likely a bullpen game. Noah Davis listed. Only threw one pitch last night. Anyway, the Cubs seem to have the Dodgers numbers in America, at least. And they kind of got this split down the middle. 4.6 runs on each side. Matt Boyd, we know we're getting out of him. 21% K rate so far this season. Diminished from last season, but his overall numbers are still fine. About a 3 expected ERA. The whip is $1.25. You want that down. And it is the Dodgers, and these two teams, all their pitchers are probably faced each other twice by now. How has he made it out? He's only faced the Dodgers once. 6 innings, 7 Ks. Give up a bomb, 3 earnings, 4 hits allowed. Interesting. He's seen the Padres twice. Dude, what a Bad pull for and the D-backs are pretty good too, man. That boy's out there muscling it. All right, let's get into it. Let's go. I'm kind of leaning Cubs over Dodgers, but both teams are absolutely in the stack ranking. I'm gonna chill on Matt Boyd for now. We made the cover boy our boy Tommy Edman. We did see Edman lead off against a lefty in the paternity absence of Shohei Ohtani. But at least, the Edman's numbers against lefties are just pristine. And there's a lot of 800 plus OPSs here. So they are going to make it tough on Boyd to get through at least the first 6. And then with the Cubs, we highlighted P. Crow Armstrong yesterday. Known for speed, and I feel like this year he's been coming up with some clutch time homers. So flattens out this lineup a little bit outside of the normal Hap, Tucker, Suzuki, Bush. So kind of like full stacks on both sides, obviously. Matt Sauer was listed as the starter in AAA tomorrow, but he got scratched, so maybe him. What does that mean? I feel like, and maybe I'm just BSing, but if you guys had Bobby Miller as an emergency start, you can't have much better just sitting down there. And you don't. 5.4 ERA this season for Sauer. Oh no, he's actually pitching the majors somehow this season. Actually, it's not bad in the minors. 11.2 innings this season in the minor league level, 11 strikeouts, a sub-1 whip. But it does seem like no matter which way we slice it, likely to be a bullpen game. If you got 5 out of this kid, you're probably playing with house money. We stretched that back to last year. Dude, I couldn't handle a Bobby Miller versus these Cubs game. Like, you can't live against the Rockies, bro. It's just GG's. Looks like so far this season can't get lefties out. Push that back to last year. Last year his overall stats high average to both sides of the plate. 3 bombs in 20 innings to lefties, 6 and 28 to righties. So better this season, but last season, if we regress to last season, he certainly could be a little dangerous. What's up, Diego? Dodgers are done with Landon Knack. Kershaw pitched today. I saw. I guess they're just kind of like waiting. But that doesn't solve. They're still down a hole, right? Blake Snell. Tony Gonsolin, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Trinan, Kershaw, Blake Snell. Dude, you could put together dang near an all-star team. 9 innings right there between Snell, Glasnow, Kershaw. And then bullpens, Gonsolin's whatever, but Blake Trinan, man. And you got Michael Kopech too. God dang. Y'all just got Noah Miller like 3 weeks ago. Giovanni Gallegos, former Yankee great. Except not. He didn't become great till he went to the Cardinals. You bum. Yeah, we'll see what they do. You might still get some Noah Davis pitches tomorrow since he only threw 1 tonight. All right, I'm gonna hold off on Boyd for now. As far as putting him in the interest ranking, you got to give him a projection though. We'll go 21%. Walk rate, we'll go 8.5. And for Noah, I'm just gonna put 18, 8, and we'll go 12. just as some filler for now. We'll fix that tomorrow. We'll put 15 for Boyd, but probably gets a little bit more than that. Daisy girl, I see you looking at me. I guess we just don't have that. I'm gonna go 15.5 for now. Daisy girl. Next up, got the White Sox and Twins. Nice words from Rob there about the pitch report. It's definitely a pretty solid tool. I like to combine it all. Like, I like looking at the bomb detector and then double checking the pitch report, and then I just really fall in love with a play. But yeah, pitch report is some help. And again, it's not meant to be predictive, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a results-based number. But that's kind of what a lot of this stuff is. Slugging, average, OPS, all this is results-based. It's just enough sample size. There's a little bit more volatility, I think, with pitch report, because I don't know, I guess Kyle Hendricks 89-mile-an-hour fastball versus some pitchers 97 would probably still register as a fastball in that grading scale. But that's when we start talking about paralysis by analysis. You just kind of have to go with the information you got. But you mix that, you mix the WRC plus, the bomb detector, come away with some strong stat influence leans. David Festa pitching for the Twins today. The Twins, by the way, a 5.4 implied run total. A little bit of wind blowing out to right, but Bryce Wilson's throwing baseballs, so that helps. A 12% barrel rate for Bryce Wilson so far this season. A 15% K rate, just not good. Since the beginning of last year, a 5.3 plus expected ERA. Is a guy that can get got. So this should be a pretty good spot for the Twins offense. I kind of felt like that yesterday, especially with Byron Buxton. But 5.4 implied run total today. You got to go right back to it. Just play the numbers, be numb to the results. Not really sure on getting to Festa at a high clip, but that 1 in 4 K rate looks a little tempting against the White Sox. This seems like a problem though. 64 pitches, 76 pitches. Somebody that we're stretching out though. They did give up 5 hits and a walk there. We might get him to 85 pitches, but I do feel like we're gonna have a projection problem getting Festa to at least the 6 innings, but I think 5 innings may not be out of the realm of possibility, which makes him more of a DK play for me. So I'm gonna go, but he does have an elevated expected ERA, so he does not come without risk. Is that right? He does come with risk. He does not come without risk. I don't know why I made that so confusing. We'll go DK for Festa. And let's go put some projections here. 14.5. Heavy juice on the over, so it looks like there's a good chance he can get to the 15, which is important. By the way, White Sox have a 3.3 run total. We're gonna give Wilson we'll give him a 16% K rate. We'll give him a 7.5 walk rate for Festa. I'm gonna give him that 26. That's 1% lower than last year. And then we'll give him a 5% walk rate. Wilson, I'm gonna give him 14.5, and then for Festa, I'm gonna give him 15 flat. On 15 outs, 5 innings, that gives me 5.8 strikeouts. Lord Jesus. Please don't be 4.5. Oh, Festa, where are you at? He's at 5.5. Oh, thank you, Lord. But if he gets another 15 pitches, maybe. And I got him at 5, so I'm still on the over, but yikes. Earn his heart. Yeah, Rob. Even when your guts, like, you know, you just gotta long term the date. That's why we got the data. Like every day you're gonna see anomaly returns, right? Like an ace will get shelled, like Chris Bassett. I think Chris Bassett against the Astros was a tough play anyway, but he actually had some rough luck on defense. Then he hit a pair of batters. But long term, we're seeing the tools work out. The Keishel guy's a lot better than Julian for the Twins. Been using him over Julian since he got called up. Look at that, dude. Daisy. Chilling at the door. Let's go look at Keishel's minor league stuff. Luke Keishel. Just variance, yeah. And that's the biggest problem a lot of players get. When people sign up for like MLB Grind, I get a couple of angry emails too. It's people that are coming straight from NBA, and it is not the same. Like, you're going to get ransacked. Like, for me, a good day on props is like if I hit 2 or 3 out of 20. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta accept the variance. And long term, like, I've already almost had a takedown this season, but I've also had a lot of rocky days in between. That's how baseball works. 297 batting average in the minors, 885 OPS. Yeah, this guy's a beast. He's a beast, and it's transferring pretty quickly to the major league level. I like that call in the crease. They have a better split, smacking righties. Yeah, I've had a few already email me like, this ain't for me, I'm out. Hey man, or this one guy signed up, and I don't even want to pick on him because I appreciate anybody that signs up, but he wasn't sure how to use projections, and I was like, man, I don't know if this one's gonna be for you, bro. So I just, you know, let him go about his merry way. But I've been pretty happy with the usual customer base right now. Is people that understand baseball is rough. Dude, I don't say nobody be typing in Discord. Nobody, they're just give me the spreadsheet. I know what I need. Let's go. Cool. Cool. All right, Twins and Fest is the what we're gonna go with here. No Bryce Wilson. No White Sox for now. So Ayo. Man, I do not miss. I kind of miss basketball, but I don't miss it at the same time, dude. Like today, I threw a bunch of lineups in. All the teams that were until 9 p.m. were already set. I went and got my oil change, came back, finished more lineup. You can't do that crap at basketball, dude. Like, you can actually kind of have a life covering baseball. But basketball fed my family for a long time. It really created this YouTube channel and is what people know me for. So I'm grateful for it. But man, that news grind is something else, dude. But I wish I can go back to the early days and blow way more money on basketball, dude. I thought I was going crazy with like 500 to 800 a night. I was going and cash games and all that crap. When we get scratched, it's auto cash, right? You got a LeBron sitting or a Jimmy Butler down. Homie's 20% owned. Nobody's reacting to the news. It ain't like that no more, man. I miss those days. Well, that's kind of the problem with any game. Gets harder as it gets solved. You don't know you're in the golden days until they're over. We used to do night before basketball streams too. Kind of crazy in retrospect. What did I just do here? Oh, Astros. Blue Jays at the Astros. We got Bowden Francis taking on Ryan Gusto. Francis, a buck on the whip, a 6.48 expected ERA with a 22% K rate. He is having a problem with lefty bats, and that's been the case for 3 seasons now. An aggregate 1.5 plus home run per 9 to lefties. The plus side for him, there's only one lefty in the projected. That's Mr. Yordan Alvarez. So we can kind of dip into the last 3-year splits against righties, which are kind of puntable at 7,800 against a full righty team. Now, again, we don't get too excited to pitch against the Astros, like was the disclaimer with Chris Bassett yesterday. But if Francis is going to offer somewhere between a 24 to 30% K rate to righties with a low average allowed, I'm kind of interested. So I think he's kind of a DK back pocket play. But at the same time, the power problem is there, particularly to lefties. Last year, the power problem was there to righties. That could be a matter of time. He does have a 26% line drive rate to righties so far. The hard contact rate's down, but the barrel rate overall is 15%. So big time spot for Alvarez. But man, if I'm the pitching coach, if Alvarez has Isak Paredes as his protection, why am I pitching to Yordan Alvarez? So I'm gonna go. I don't know how I'm gonna go with this one. Gusto on the other side, 24% K rate for him, a 14% swing and strike rate for him, a 10% barrel rate. 4 in the expected ERA, also having a problem getting lefties out. 348 average allowed so far, 3.6 home run per 9. Seems kind of like a wash on pitching, but I do think there's a tournament chance on Francis. Probably gonna lean into Blue Jays. Man, nobody on the Astros is screaming at me here, to be honest. Alvarez is an elite matchup, but man, oh, you just gotta be banking on talent. We'll do that though. We'll go Substack. They can get to Bassett. It is what it is. And then we'll go Bowden Francis DK. How we rank that one out. You talk more about the oil change? Dude, it was lit. Got $25 off. Or 15. No, I got $25 off. It's $100 oil change. The good stuff. You miss COVID DFS? Dude. I kind of don't. That all-day basketball stuff, man. I did not love that. But we were, or at least you mean like the Madden, Sims, and KBO. All right, Blue Jays, Rockies. Went to Valvoline. They're pretty good to me. They tried to upsell me an air filter. I was like, nah, bro. They're like, all right, well, at your earliest convenience, you probably want another one. It's $25. I was like, if Mike Trout and Corey Seager hit their overs tonight, I'll be back. It did not. Rockies going for round 2. It's the Royals. Something tells me I'm maybe a little less optimistic. About pitching Lorenzen as I was pitching Chris Bubich. But I dang near pitch anybody against the Rockies. And we do get the benefit of Kaufman. Honestly, talk more about the oil change. Sounds like a clickbait question and lazy reporting. That's on my goat. Orioles with a 5.1 run total. Rockies 3.6. So typically, Michael Lorenz is not somebody I ever want to play. And I don't know that I'm going to change that theory today. But man, do the Rockies suck. It's bad. So this is unstoppable force, immovable object of suck in terms of pitching prowess. 18% K rate for Lorenzen so far, 1.43 on the whip, 4.28 expected ERA. Has really struggled with power against righties. Can maybe suppress that with Kaufman, but I mean, it's his home park. So I don't know what to do here, because in no way, shape, or form did I wake up stack Rockies, but something has got to give there, yeah. So I'll just let the projection tell it. By the way, Francis, we'll give Francis his give him his 23. I almost want to give him a boost with one lefty in the projected. I will. 24. Gusto 24. Walker 8. 4 and 7. Or the other way. So for Lorenzen, I'm gonna give him that 17% K rate. %7 walk rate. Ramon Marquez, I'm giving that 15% K rate, a 10% walk rate. And I'm gonna give Lorenzen 17.5 outs, and it spits me 6.232. Jesus H. All right, what does Vegas got on Lorenzen here, if anything? They got him at 17.5 with juice on the over. Marquez 15. What about Francis? Have anything on Francis? Francisco Giants. There we go. 17.5. 14.5. An electric car guy? Nah. I drive too much, man. I can't be charging my car. My special lady was telling her, she watches the stream, and she's like, I love how you talk while you type. Like I just gave y'all oil change monologue while putting in the Rockies lineup. She'll love that. Guys, are we playing Michael Lorenzen? Come on. What are we doing here? Well, for sure get some Royals, right? You don't mind Alvarez and Paredes minis? Yeah, I don't mind that. Alvarez should, like, if you get Alvarez with runners on, like, it just, to me, it's, you gotta have a reason to pitch to Alvarez. Like, if you got traffic, you gotta pitch to him. I don't know if Paredes is the protection that he should get, but the protection that he's got. KBO and esports, man, I never got into it as hard as I needed to, but what are you gonna do? All right, I'm just gonna put Royals for now. I'm gonna meditate on Lorenzen. Pitching gets a little bit better, but it also doesn't. I don't know. So let's go out to Anaheim. You guys missed it. Andrew McCutchen with the Remember Me bomb last night. Jesus. Mike Trout with the strikeout to Bailey Falter. I mean, am I salty? No, I'm not at all salty about Mike Trout with money on him striking out to Bailey Falter. That would just be unreasonable. And it's not like I had money on him against Patrick Corbin and he strikes out. It's just whatever, dude. Back on my boat. Kochanowicz. All right. Pirates have a run total of 4.2. Angels 5. Andrew Heaney, former Angel great, yeah. Hasn't been the worst. It's been very serviceable as a pitcher this year. You know what you're gonna get. A couple strikeouts, but a lot of fly balls, and you hope those fly balls stay in the park. And so far, with the help of PNC Park, that's been happening. At Cincy, 4 Ernie's. Yankees at the Yankees 10 strikeouts. At Miami, only 1 Ernie, but only 2 strikeouts. So this is kind of Andrew Heaney baseball. There's a lefty from back in the day that I'm trying to think of right now. It's not coming to my mind. I feel like he ended up playing in Toronto. He might have played for the Twins. He was a lefty fly baller, man. Probably 7-8 years ago. Anybody got a name for me? That's who Heaney's starting to remind me of. Let's go Angels. I kind of don't think Heaney's like out of play at 8,100 so far. Talking about pitching on this slate, I think we go Pirates here. Kochanowicz has not been that great. 1.5 whip last year. The K rate was low. The swing strike rate was low. The ground ball rate's pretty high. We talked about that being stat killing potential, but Pirates can get aggressive on the bases, and we've seen that in a couple series. I kind of go Pirates here. Don't think I get to any Kochanowicz. Heaney's on the cusp, though. Appreciate that, J3. Man, I want to say his name had started with an E. Eduardo. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be thinking about this. I'm gonna figure it out before I get off the air tonight. That's how we go that game. Heaney's on the verge right now. I'm gonna put him as a DK. I guess we need to put his pitcher projection in. 22, 12. Seven and 5. Dude, it sounds like a microwave beeping. Get that right. 7, 5 here, 7 there. I got it backward right there. Am I fat? That reminds me of a microwave, probably. Heaney, 17.5 outs, 16.5 on Kochanowicz. Trevor May was a guess. You're talking about Erasmo. It was a lefty, and it was even further back. He was a notorious fly baller. He was I want to say he played for the. Let me see. Now it's on my Blue Jays. Let's go 2016 roster. I don't know. Oh, maybe it was a righty. Maybe it's Marco Estrada I'm thinking of. I feel like there's another lefty I'm thinking of though too. But Marco Estrada kind of reminds me of Heaney's stat line, where he just goes out there, extreme fly baller. Oh, man, I want to say there was somebody on the Twins, but. Tommy Malone, yeah. Day hat. I'm thinking Marco Estrada was who I was thinking of, but there's another lefty that I want to say played for the Twins. But either way, Marco Estrada is like a good comp for me in my mind. Like you know he's a fly baller, gonna give up homers, and he's not gonna do a whole lot else. But at his peak, the flyouts, you know, get through 5-6 innings and hope for the best. We shocked if you sent out. Yeah, dude, I remember Tommy Malone. Oh my god. Where was the Brewers for a stint? They got full stack the Mets against them on a Brewers start, and it was wonderful. Let's go back to Chase Field. I believe yesterday we looked at the roof specs here, and roof's expected to be open every game. See if that changes day to day, but it's good for the bats, and we saw some baseballs flying yesterday. Marco Alejandro Estrada. Yeah, he was so frustrating to stack against sometimes. Warning track, warning track, warning track. There's definitely another lefty that I was thinking of, though. Dodge Bradley, a 25% K rate so far. Erod, a 30% K rate, which seems fake. And I know I went on this big monologue last time about how that's fake. He's not going to hold that up. And then he goes out there. I think it was against the Marlins. And he was like, you get a strikeout. You get a strikeout. 9 strikeouts against the Marlins. Yay. 12 against Washington, who team that doesn't strike out. So Erod is just... he's just here to do the opposite of what I say. Go look at his plate discipline per game, though. Hector Santiago, that's it, J3. That's 100% it. That's 100% it. 14%, 7%, 10%, 9%. Swing and strike rate in his 4 games. JD, Goldie, Ahmed. Yeah, that was a good. They had oh dude, who's the random guy that killed Kershaw? It was a junior. Ricky. Somebody help me out. Ricky something Jr. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm still not believing in this strikeout rate, but man, 14% swing and miss or swing and strike rate against the Marlins. I'm gonna be bold and stick with my regression call, but let's go to Savant and see if there's anything I'm missing on. Ricky Weeks, right? J.R. Murphy. Oh yeah, former Yankee great J.R. Murphy. No, I'm thinking of Ricky Weeks Jr. That guy was on the beginning of that that lefty killing team, but before JD was there. I think it was like Yasmani Tomas. They had David Peralta, Drury, Ricky Weeks, Adam Dunn. Yeah, I still love that team against lefties. All right, I've clicked so much just to go right back to where I needed to be. Yeah, D-backs are like my underdog NL team, bro. I just always liked them the last 10 years. Love their stadium, love their commentary, love their vibe. I really want to make it out there. I don't know if the Yankees play at Chase Field this year, but every team plays every team, right? So maybe. Is this me or am I blind? There it is. right? No, where are my pitches at? There it is. Was that not there a minute ago? Four seamer, 25% whiff rate. Expected slug is pretty good on every pitch. Even regression possible on his 567 actual slug. And with the batting average allowed. Once this music stuff picks up, Arizona. I want to go check it out. I definitely want to go visit. But they don't allow jack squat, right? Like you can't DFS. I imagine you can't bet. I truly don't know. D-backs played in New. Oh, okay. So they don't play again in Chase. They just played that one series. I guess that makes sense. Darn, I would have made the trip out there. Recordsville is also pretty god dang pretty. Maybe I can catch Yankees out there. I don't know. A couple years ago, I almost moved to Colorado or Tennessee because of sports betting in Tennessee with no state tax, but then wrestling really picked up for me in Texas, so I stayed here. I don't know, man. Are we believing in Erod here? So far, so good. I'm not really seeing a stark contrast in anything else but the results. Oh, I guess he's using cutter a lot more. I guess that's the biggest difference, huh? Or is he? I don't know. He's not. Want to go to Coors, come see Nats in DC. I haven't been to any ballpark in the league right now, to be honest. I've been to old Yankee Stadium, which doesn't exist anymore. All right, we're gonna go D-backs here. Oh, by the way, I'm assuming the roof is open. Roof projects to be open. We'll put that in the game notes. The Rays are so hard to read here. Cash has put out all righty lineups against lefties. We've seen that already. Aranda got hit in the knee or something yesterday. They checked on him. He might be good, but he also may not. And then Brandon Lau, his only hit was off the lefty. Former Red Sox, Jalen Beeks, actually former Rays, Jalen Beeks as well. And then we've seen Chandler Simpson in the leadoff spot, but they might switch that down against the lefty. So I'm kind of not anti-Erod here, but it would be egg on my face if he goes out there and gets smoked. I feel like the Rays would have a better lineup here. Yandy for sure. Caminero, yeah. But this middle of the lineup doesn't have a ton of like juice against lefties. Mangum's been good. He went off the wall today. And Simpson is just freaking fast, man. Volpe, all that torpedo bet nonsense from the opening weekend. I don't hear none of them kids now. Volpe's been rough, dude, and it hurts because you want him to be great because all those years he was the untouchable. Like he couldn't be part of any trade. And now it's just like, man, do something. Do something. By the way, I know I listed D-backs, but I'm also interested in a little bit of Taj Bradley. 1 in 4 K rate, 12% swing and strike rate. Just been struggling with power to righties. D-backs are kind of half and half. Their lefties are kind of their better. At least Corbin Carroll. Haven Smith's been great too. I actually might like Bradley more than the D-backs. But I don't hate the D-backs. So I'm gonna go Erod 3rd, D-backs 2, Bradley 1. Then F it, dude. Let's just go all the way. Rays in case Erod sucks. But this Rays lineup definitely looks better against righties. And then if you play some of these guys today, you might be dealing with the platoon swap out mid-game risk. Can't field with the bat. Well, he can't bat with the bat either right now. With Profar. Hey man, Profar just needed some roids. Clearly. Bro, my favorite Profar story for gambling was like my first taste of the World Baseball Classic, and Profar, I don't know what he played for, some random team. And I was like, oh, this guy sucks. Like in the major league, he sucks. So on the World Baseball Classic stage, I just expected him to suck as well. And that's when I learned how much better the American or the majors are better than the world. And I've since seen that time over time when quad A pitchers go over there like Dan Straley and become the GOAT. So I think the first game I like faded Profar, and homie went like 4 for 4. Some just absolute crazy stat line. And I was like, okay, all right. And then I learned there's a real imbalance between us and the world. But dude, anybody else hyped for the WBC next year? I am. I'm like more excited for that than this year's season. Those would be fun games to go to, but when they were in America at Dodger Stadium, dude, it was so expensive. It's like, I don't think it's that worth. I'm not sure who the host cities are, what the price is, and I don't know if that was Dodger Stadium induced, but man. Logan Webb versus Freddie Peralta, two great pitchers in a great pitcher's park, but don't let that pitcher's park get you off of a Brewer stack, as you saw last night. But I will let the good pitchers get me off of the stacks here. I think we're instantly going both guys here. Logan Webb, I think I'm gonna go. Honestly, I don't know. I think I'll go Logan Webb and then Freddie Peralta, but both guys are really, really good. Don't think I'm gonna stretch to any leverage stacks. By the way, let me get this Taj Bradley K 25%. Erod, I'm gonna give him a 25 as well. I don't feel great about that, but that's half and half this year, last year. Walk rates 9%. Erod 7%. So 9, 7. And then Freddie Peralta 29 and a 8% walk rate. Logan Webb, we're gonna give him a 30. Man, 30 seems a little used, but he's 30 innings deep now. I'm gonna go 28. 28-6. And both guys are probably gonna be 17.5 off the rip, yeah. 18.5 for Webb, 16.5 for Freddie. All right, we'll give 18. By the way, Peralta is right here, and I'm blind. I'm gonna go 17.5 for these two. Yeah, Fetty the same, yeah. The title game's in Marlins Park. That's kind of a good neutral spot, I guess. Yeah, he's definitely increased that carry. Is there a particular reason why? He's kind of like so far what we saw in Chris Bassett, yeah. Like already a good pitcher, but now adding some strikeouts. That could be I'm on the wrong website. Yeah, USA brings the heat, but I think like the problem with the WBC, it feels like our best hitters are all about playing, But pitchers are such a volatile, like it's so dangerous. If you know, if we got, for instance, the Yankees, if you got a $300 million, $400 million pitcher, any team really, and you let him go out there and pitch and he gets injured and needs Tommy John because of a game in Japan in freaking March, like I get the business side of it. And I think that's the problem. It's hard to let your best pitchers go. Your best hitters all day. Definitely looks like we're getting more whiffs on the changeup. Yeah, he's like doubled the whiff rate on the changeup and the sweeper a little bit. So the changeup looks like his new strikeout pitch, 34% put away percentage. And last year that changeup was it's not quite that. Let's go to that pitch report. How the Brewers do against the changeup. Yeah, not terrible. Take it though. Not terrible. We'll take it though, because he still has a good ground ball rate. But 3.3 run total for the Brew Crew is kind of crazy after their offense last night. All right, one game left on the docket. Quick reminder. All this stuff available. Click of a couple buttons. MLBgrind.com. Premium membership, week pass, month pass, and season pass, all available. Once you do sign up, hit members portal. You'll get a link to the Discord, link to the spreadsheet. Come to Discord, make some friends, make some bets, make some money. Gonna keep it moving to the final game on the slate, the 15th game, and our 13th reason. They got Semien, but that wasn't the case yesterday. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put Semien for now, but he didn't lead off yesterday. They went with Josh, but then Semien homered, right? I don't think they go back to it, but this is just a placeholder. We do get a lefty today. And I love the Kevin Pillar Higashioka value reach against lefties. Kumar Rocker on the bump for the Rangers. Saw a homer out of Lawrence Butler. I believe we saw a stolen base too. Didn't see much of anything from Tyler Soderstrom. I'm not even mad. I'm not. We might get Nick Kurtz today. We should. Yesterday was his this is it, soak it in day. That certainly beefs up the lineup. If you guys have not made yourself familiar with Mr. Kurtz, he has been mashing in the minors, and he's just unavoidable. Had to bring him up. So we'll get a pitcher today in Kumar Rocker that we've kind of talked. He's in this little group of pitchers that I think are young, a lot of talent, but very, very raw and have to be processed. And we saw his best game against the Angels 5 days ago. 8 strikeouts in that game, 5 hits. Also gave up 3 earnings, a 97 ground ball to fly ball ratio. But I think what's key here is the 0 walks was nice for him. I don't think I don't think that means he's clicked, but that's kind of what we're expecting in a guy like him long term, is to kind of get to that level. But now we're putting him out here in Sutter Health, which has been pretty good for offense, and this Athletics team has been pretty good for offense, and they add Nick Kurtz. So I think we get to offenses first. Both teams have the same run total. I'm gonna go A's here over Rangers, but I'm gonna go Rangers before we get to pitching, and I don't think I'm gonna get to pitching actually. JP Sears, not a guy I ever play, and Rocker, I could understand it if he went there. I just feel like the risk reward is just not it right now. I'm gonna not on that slate. I'm gonna go I'll give him that 20% carry rate, a little bit of a boost. And then for Sears, stick him at the 18. Walk rate, go 5%. Rocker and Sears, go 6%. We have outs on these guys. No, so I'm gonna give them, I'm gonna give them both 16.5, and then just kind of let the line tell it later. Young Aces don't code. Out, you see Skeens and Scooble there. Yeah, especially pitchers who haven't got their contract yet. Like, none of these major league organizations have any incentive at all to let their pitchers go. So what you usually see is like the older guys that are done get a look, which isn't the worst thing against, you know, they still out talent some of the international things, but yeah, it would be really nice to see the Paul Skeens, the Scoobles, the young guns go out there and represent the country. Or even some of the aces, but you know, I get it. Pitching is so dangerous right now. I think that's what's holding us back. But that's kind of the case for everyone except Japan. Japan doesn't bubble wrap their guys like that, yeah? But all these other countries probably have a similar, because most of their best players are plucked from the league. And I don't see, like, I don't know. We got to get our main pitcher projection sorted. I think we have to include the pitchers from this Orioles game because it's going to be on the Fanduel slate. So bear with me on that. Actually, we can just take off the early slate. Yeah. Off Miles. And yeah, it would be, I'm with you on that too, Jake. It would be kind of cool to see baseball represented appropriately in the Olympics. But it's gonna end up being all college kids. But at the same time, I mean, we're speaking from the fan standpoint, but I could certainly understand. Could you imagine going to play in the Olympics and you pour an ACL or you pour a UCL? It would suck. All right, that is our main pitcher projections. Let's go main stack rating. I don't know. I can't be too mad at him. But those games have been really fun. And it's fun to see teammates play against each other on the world level. Yeah, Philly and Mets off. All right, so stack rating for the main slate came out Boston. So it's gonna be a lot of those games that aren't on the main slate for DraftKings, but are for Fanduel. It gives me the Angels, then the Dodgers again, Baltimore, literally. Then we get to Minnesota, Arizona, Chicago. A lot of teams with over 5. The White Sox and the Rockies really low in their stack rating, which kind of brings Michael Lorenzen back into question. I'm gonna pull up the bomb detector, get that resorted. There was a minor glitch that I fixed yesterday in the bomb detector. Rodon Alvarez at the top. If they pitch to him, Buxton again, Higgy, Higashioka. There's a name. Al Tucker, and then a lot of the regulars. Yeah. Where's Judge yet? 3.73. That's actually incredibly low. What happened there? Oh, the Ortiz ground ball rate happened. Yeah. Roki had his breakout for the, yeah. Yeah, I think Japan like takes great pride in it, but America's money. Yeah. Kyle Freeland, Lance Lynn. Now what you want. So I don't know. Like we might be able to get away with like a Verlander. I don't know, Max. Like, you know what I mean? Guys that are done. Like a Max, a Verlander, these 40-year-olds. And it might mean something over there. Just no Charlie Morton. Actually, I think was Charlie Morton on that team? What was the last WBC USA pitching? Andy Pettis, the coach. Just no Charlie Morton. Yeah, no Charlie Morton. I don't know what all this is. People that have what was it, 2021? Danny Duffy. Holy. Is this every 2 years or 4 years? Roman, Cole, Fulmer, Danny Duffy. Dude, there's another lefty from yesteryear. That rotation is not too bad for the year. 23 was the last one. All right, well, the 2021 rotation wasn't that bad. Surprised in retrospect. We had players. Why? Oh, I guess it's just randomly thrown together. Or no, this is it. Adam Bard, Bednar, Kyle Freeland, Kendall Graveman. Wasn't too bad. Merrill Kelly, Loop, Lance Lynn, Nick Martinez, Miles Michaelis, Adam Ottavino. Right? Oh my God, bro. I'd take Devin Williams, right? For some of these guys, I wouldn't want pitching today against. I was gonna say the Rockies, but I kind of changed my mind. Yeah, we need a better lineup. Ottavino still looking for a job though, so he might be there. Yankees like picked him up for the heck of it the other day. Oh my God, bro. Hopefully it gets better. That's our full rundown on every game tomorrow. We'll stay tuned for any pitching swaps. The Dodgers game we got to keep an eye on. Looks like there could be some okey dokeness. What's going on there? But it looks like it could be an offense day. Some good pitching and bad spots. What are you gonna do? That was a bad rotation. That 2021 wasn't that bad though. In retrospect. Or maybe I don't know. Even that lineup isn't that bad, but yeah, you just need pitching. Because every team's got great hitting. Or the main ones, right? Puerto Rico, Japan. Canada's gonna have like a Freddie Freeman, but they're not gonna. Usually like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, like the Latin teams that are gangsters on us because they can ball. Mexico maybe. All right, no stream tomorrow afternoon. We'll be back probably sometime tomorrow night. Break down the Thursday slate, and then probably Friday afternoon. So If you need me, twitter.com/gundacker. I'll be in the Discord. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hope you guys have a good day. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.